Hey everybody, it's been a little while since I had a chance to do a video. Now, I had done a review on this 200 classic video games retro machine quite a while ago, almost a year ago in fact, and it's actually one of my most viewed videos. And it's I'll post a link down below to it, and it's a pretty okay machine. I mean, it was like $25. It looks like a little arcade machine. It's got a color screen. It has 200 games in it, but they're like Java games, nothing spectacular in here. But I happened to be going by the store today, and I happened to see this one right here, which is, I guess, the newer version of it. It's called the My Arcade, but it really is the pretty much the same exact thing that this one is, except now they're saying it's got 300 games in it. And you can see the decaling is a little bit differently here. It's just all black. And we'll do a little unboxing of it and take a look at it. Again, they show you a whole bunch of games in here, counting 300 games, but I can tell you right now they're basically little like Java games, nothing spectacular. But again, it's something neat to have on your desk for $25. You can even probably gut this and put a little Raspberry Pi in there. But let's just take a look at the new one. I'm not going to do a review of the My Arcade retro machine with the 200 games. I already did a video on that. We're just going to take a look just at the newer version here. So let's open up the box here. And actually, it's kind of neat. They have some magnets holding this closed. So even the box is just kind of nice. They make it probably a really nice little stocking stuffer, if anything. Before we get to the unboxing, let's take a look at the original My Arcade. You can see the front and side profiles here. Again, this was $24.99 at Toys R Us. You could probably get it probably around the same price, maybe a little bit cheaper. Now, the older unit did look kind of nice. They gave a nice little gaming look to it. But to be honest, the newer version, which we're seeing here, I think I like the cleaner look better. Also, this particular version, the A and B buttons, your start, select, and volume buttons, and the front light up. Now, it would be kind of neat if the marquee actually lit up as well, and that's maybe something I can modify a little bit later on. But the newer version has 300 games versus 200, and it's hard to tell in the photographs, but the newer version is just a tiny bit smaller in all its dimensions. Very little, so it's definitely not the same exact case, even though they kind of look very similar. The newer one is slightly smaller in each way. They both feel fine in the hand. You do probably want to lay it down on the desk to use it, but I do like the design of both of them. So now let's get into the actual unboxing of the newer unit. So if we open up the box here, we take out our machine. Again, it's okay. I mean, it's got a nice plastic on it. The joystick has it's a little loose, but it has a good positive feel when you press them. It's got a good solid feel on all the buttons here. You have your 8-way joystick, your A and B buttons. You have a reset, a start, and a 4-level volume selector there. A little logo here. It doesn't come with it. You have to put in 3 AA batteries in the back. And this one actually has a 3 position switch here. This one has 2 on and off. This has off, on with lights, and regular on. So let's just switch it to the first position here. And you can see it's got a little music playing there. The screen's resolution is okay. It's only 2.5 inches. But what you could do is put the switch in the other position, and you can see everything lights up, which is kind of nice. I kind of like it like that. So that was a nice little addition to put on there. And you see the volume goes up a little bit, off, low, medium, and then high. And you basically select your genre. You have sports, shooting, puzzle, and arcade. Now I will say that there are no actual arcades in here like Donkey Kong or Pac-Man, but I did find some games that are very similar to existing arcade machines. There is a clone of Bomberman, a clone of regular Mario Brothers, not Super Mario Brothers, but Mario Brothers, and there was also a clone of actually of Popeye, and it was a pretty good version of it. So let's go just take a look at some of the arcade games in here. So you can press A to select, and you can see it's very hard to see the individual games, but when you get on to one in particular, it gets a little bit bigger, making it a little bit easier to see. So let's see if we can find these games here on here. Let's see. Well, this here, I forgot the name of the arcade machine, but if anyone knows the machine, they can put it down in the comments below. This was actually an arcade machine, believe it or not. I just can't think of the name. I wanted, it was like a fox, but I can't remember what it was called. Something Tails or Trails. So this is definitely, the music's okay. And the controls are very responsive. I mean, they feel good enough. Again, it's a $30 little arcade machine here. But it's okay. I mean, this is a game that if you sit down, you can have some fun with it. It's almost like Pac-Man. You're trying to color the whole screen. Oop, these little bugs try and get you, and they're actually pretty quick. So this is actually pretty hard playing on here. But when you're done with the game, you press the reset. That takes you back to your main menu. We'll go back down to arcade. Let's see what other games we could find here. Here's the Bomberman Clone. Of course, it's not as fun as the actual Bomberman, but again, for passing the time, having a little something to show in the office or something, it's not too bad. It's definitely playable. So again, when you want to reset to go to another game, hit the reset button. And it does usually leave you back on whatever you were playing last, which is kind of nice. You don't have to keep going back to all the different menus to try and find something. Oh, here it is. This is the Mario Brothers clone. So again, it's not too bad. The same gameplay is here, so it's actually pretty fun. Now let's see if we can find that Popeye clone. Here it is. And I've already played through the whole game, and all the levels from Popeye are in here. So, you know, this I got at Toys R Us. I think it was $29. It's definitely an improvement over the older one, just because it does have some games in here that at least resemble some arcade machines. And, you know, again, for a stocking stuffer for $29, and a lot of times you find these things on sale, maybe, you know, $20 or $15. And I would say, you know what, at those price points, this thing's really not too bad. Again, it's got a nice feel to it. It doesn't feel too cheap. Again, the game's on it, nothing spectacular, but it's really not too bad. I mean, I definitely like the additions of the lights on here now. The screen is fairly viewable, if not on the small side, but you know, it's really not bad. I do like this little guy here. Again, this one wasn't too bad either, but if you definitely had a choice, because these were actually next to each other at the store for the same price, I would definitely go with the newer retro machine over the 200 classics. You get an extra 100 games in here. Again, the games are not going to be anything spectacular, but there are a couple fun ones on here. So, is it worth picking up? Yeah, I would think so. Even just to have on your desk, or just to pick up once in a while and play something real quick. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave any comments down below. And everyone remember, game on.